City volunteers in California distribute cash cards to families affected by wildfires in Santa Rosa. Tzu Chi scholarship recipient Ceng Yufeng rises above challenges in life and aspires to help new immigrants. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Sue. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in the United States. Wildfires in Northern California devastated the city of Santa Rosa. Tzu Chi volunteers immediately began conducting disaster relief by handing out cash cards to 72 families in need. Many of the evacuees took nothing with them when leaving, so upon receiving this warm and caring gesture, they were moved beyond tears. There are still roadblocks and restricted zones in Santa Rosa, California. Only evacuees who have applied to check on their home can temporarily enter the scene of the fire.
My dad was out on a fire call. He's a volunteer firefighter, and we evacuated to Santa Rosa, and we went to many places all night long. We were up all night, moving around, trying to get away from the fire, and we lost our home.
To help in this unpredictable disaster relief, Greg Tylowski and his wife, who are in charge of the Tzu Chi Santa Rosa office, coincidentally canceled their plans to return to Taiwan.
That night, the fire struck, and the next morning we started the relief effort. So many people say that it was fate, that my wife forgot her passport. Actually, it's the first time she's ever done so. A completely new organization, Tzu Chi. They even have a hard time pronouncing it. So we take our time. We take a very, very long time during intake.
Julie Bradley cried for 2 hours while at the Tzu Chi booth.
I can't even begin to tell you how much it means to me, more than the money, that people care. That meant more than anything to me. And I have a bamboo bank, and I got another one for my son and daughter, because I know they're going to want to contribute too.
In this dominantly Caucasian community, Tzu Chi's approach to aid distribution and disaster relief doesn't change. The volunteers continue to use love and more respect, ensuring a long and prosperous friendship. In response to a previous Tzu Chi campaign in the United States called the Power of Five, Tzu Chi volunteers in Durban, South Africa recently began a donation campaign to help Hurricane Harvey victims. Let's take a look at how these spiritually rich South Africans were inspired to give.
God. Just be careful!
Looking at the footage of how Hurricane Harvey devastated Houston, Texas, the volunteers from South Africa's Durban sympathized with the disaster victims. To help the victims recover, they began to canvass donations, beginning with the September 14th volunteer training. This cross-country donation actually originates from the Power of Five campaign. In 2011, U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers began a campaign to canvass donations to help South African volunteers promote Tzu Chi's charity mission.
We get money, we're able to feed those orphans. We're taking care of more than 5,000 orphans.
For a month, every time the volunteers go on a home visitation, they bring the bamboo coin bank, seeing if the recipients want to pay the love forward. As of mid-October, with the 10 sessions of community events, the volunteers have received donations from 255 people. And though the amount is not much, it is filled with all the love and blessings of South Africa. A Tzu Chi's disaster assessment team continues their work in the aftermath of the Mexico earthquake. They arrive at a neighborhood known as Conchita. The local residents mostly rely on farm work to get by. The tremor destroyed these residents' hard work in just one day. Join us as we see how these residents are looking to rebuild. San Gregorio, just like the rest of Xochimilco, is a lake region surrounded by canals and chimnapas, artificial islands where flowers, fruits, and vegetables are grown. This is a land of peasants, hardworking yet poor people that have been hit hard by the earthquake. Tzu Chi's assessment team visited Conchita for the first time.
The earthquake destroyed approximately 72 houses. The municipality and the government have not helped us at all. The Conchita neighborhood is dedicated to sowing of lettuce, vegetables, and it also produces flowers like Kempascule.
But not everyone lives from the fields. Some have to go to other areas of the city to find a job, but go back home every day to their family in the Chinampa.
On September 19th, I was at work when the earthquake hit. I immediately got too scared, and the only thing that came to my head was my children, who were here and I was so far away. When I came back, I saw the mess, the house and the fence on the ground, our things on the ground, my children here. And I thank God because my children were all right. Seeing the house was very sad. It is sad because you're left with nothing, no place to live, no place to stay. I'm the only provider for my family. I work for my 2 children. I don't have a husband. I know that material things are obtained little by little, but it is so hard. I broke off crying. I held my children, and just like everything else, the only thing I told them was that everything is all right. No matter what happened, you're well. Nothing happened to you. What are my plans? Continue working. Keep trying hard and start building. A rent is too high. It is too much, and we have this, which belongs to us. And we can try hard to build something, even if it is small.
This year's school insurance program excluded children with serious disabilities, leading to protests from parents of these children. Although the Ministry of Education offered additional subsidies to resolve this matter, the issue continues to hurt these families. Experts say that families with children who have severe disabilities do in fact face a very heavy financial burden. Therefore, the government needs to provide more assistance.
We added some tape here because she scratched so much it injured the skin and caused bleeding.
A nurse comes to give an injection with a needle as 5-year-old Nung Nung doesn't even cry, though adults can barely look.
In fact, MPS children need to receive injection of enzymes in their lifetime, so it's usually difficult to find their blood vessels as they have many needle scars.
MPS can affect a child's intelligence, appearance, and bone development. Nung Nung is actually the first to try an umbilical cord stem cell transplant. At the age of 2, is able to run and jump like a normal child, even being able to attend a normal kindergarten. However, there is no escaping some of the effects of this illness.
Why do I wear this support? Because it helps me grow taller, but I can't wear this back support when I play, so I take it off.
Every week, this child needs an injection and must wear this back support for 20 hours a day. But just being able to go to school for children with severe disabilities is anything but easy. However, this year, upon hearing that children with severe disabilities were excluded from school insurance, was a major blow to this child's parents.
Now it is difficult to define what insurance coverage means, if it being outside or falling or something associated with MPS, which makes them inflexible or something just caused by running or jumping.
School insurance is very important to us because these children who have disabilities frequently need to stay in the hospital when they get ill to receive medical treatment. This would be a big help for us.
Ms. Liang's daughter was admitted to the intensive care unit due to an infection this year. She stayed there for 3 months and incurred more than $6,000 in medical costs, but school insurance claims are capped at $1,600. The heavy economic burden felt by Ceng Yu's parents has a serious impact upon them, as it costs them about $1,100 a month to care for her. And they also have 3 other sons in elementary school, which puts pressure on both of these parents who work.
It is when you see a child with a rare disease, it can be difficult for the whole family, including brothers and sisters. In addition to helping this family, we also need to help those in the background, such as parents, brothers, and sisters, to give them some opportunities.
Mr. Xiao empathizes because his brother has a serious disability, and without social assistance, his family would not be able to carry on today. A learning disability group points out that preschool is an important age for children, and if they are deprived of educational opportunities, they will grow up more closed off to the world.
If they think this may lead them to think there are no guarantees, and if they wait until elementary school, and then I think that they should have learned this when they're in kindergarten, but they have to wait until they go to an elementary school.
Letting children happily go to school is something that all parents look forward to. However, some children face a more difficult fate, as heavy economic pressure may exclude some children. All children should face the same opportunities and fairness they should be entitled to as a way for them to overcome the difficult fate they have been given.
In our continuing series of successful stem cell transplant cases, today we'll meet a leukemia patient who lives in China. Ceng Yufeng was diagnosed with leukemia in 2014, and she luckily found a matching donor through Tzu Chi stem cell registry. After undergoing the stem cell transplant, she recovered well and has been looking forward to meeting her savior. In October of this year, she finally met her stem cell donor, Tzu Chi, who lives in Taiwan. Let's see how she was able to express her gratitude to her stem cell donor.
Without your help, I do not know where my daughter would be today.
Stem cell transplant recipient Ceng Yufeng has waited for 3 years to express her gratitude. This year, she finally gets to fulfill her wish.
My family and I have been hoping to see my stem cell donor. The donor really saved my life. Therefore, when Tzu Chi notified us of the meeting with my stem cell donor, I immediately decided to attend.
Ceng Yufeng, who lives in Wujiang district of Suzhou, was diagnosed of leukemia when she was 33 years old. After finding a matching donor at Tzu Chi stem cell registry and undergoing a transplant, she recovered well.
The most severe side effect was having dry eye syndrome. My tear glands no longer secrete enough tears, and I rely on eye drops every day. However, I was told this is considered a minor side effect.
Ceng Yufeng is invited by local Tzu Chi volunteers to have a tour of Tzu Chi Suzhou grounds to learn more about Tzu Chi.
Tzu Chi volunteers give me the impression they are very kind. Since the matching donor who registered with Tzu Chi stem cells registry saved my life, I am very excited about going to Taiwan to meet him.
We've relied on his donation of stem cells, and we should repay society and the donor. We cannot forget the kindness of all those who help us.
Filled with gratitude, Chen is excited to finally meet the savior of her life.
Uncle, thank you. Because of you, I found my mother again. Your blood flows in my mother's body, and therefore you are my real uncle. Thank you.
Thank you, Master, for giving this chance to realize my dream and make my life more meaningful.
24-year-old Tzu Chi thought he simply saved a child, but the fact is he saved the entire family.
I did not think that much when I made the donation. I went on the internet and read some articles about Tzu Chi. I learned that other stem cells donors are doing fine. Therefore, I thought I should believe my choice is correct. It is very good to help her entire family.
Tzu's girlfriend has witnessed how brave and passionate Tzu is. After Tzu made the stem cells donation, he has also changed.
He is afraid of seeing blood, therefore I really respect him for overcoming his own fear in order to save someone's life.
In the past, I was young and reckless. However, after I made the donation, I've become calmer and more serene. After coming into contact with Tzu Chi, I've calmed my mind. This is helpful for me in my work.
Besides accompanying Tzu at the meeting with Ceng Ying, Tzu's girlfriend has decided to sign up as a potential stem cells donor so she too can save someone else's precious life.
Originally from Miaoli's Toufen, Ceng Yufeng is a senior at Zhongxin University. Due to their family's financial situation, Yufeng has been working part-time since high school to share this burden. Due to her mother's influence, Yufeng hopes to become an immigration officer to fight for the rights of foreign spouses. Yufeng has also joined her school's International Volunteer Club and visited Nepal to give to the less fortunate.
Using her time wisely on her days off, Ceng Yufeng learns the Indonesian language from her mother. As Cen's mother is from Indonesia, she has never been treated equally in the last 20 years she's been here in Taiwan. Ceng hopes upon her graduation from school, she can get a job as an immigration officer and help more foreign spouses in Taiwan get the rights they deserve.
My mother has been in Taiwan for so many years, but it was only when I was in the second grade in elementary that she received an official marriage license to my father. I feel like my mother was a gold citizen in the previous 10 years she was here.
A child wise beyond her age, Ceng began working part-time during her high school years to offset some financial costs. She also joined her school's volunteer team and even visited Nepal to help.
Their floors are dirt floors and the homes are made of wood. Quality of life isn't great there, and their water resources are scarce. They have to fetch a pail of water each day to use. Water is really precious to them. I was really glad to be a volunteer because we're not only giving of ourselves, but also receiving much reward in return.
Cen's father is already 81 and her mother is also getting up in age, but the mother still works to make ends meet for the family. The young lady doesn't complain about her misfortunes, but instead counts her blessings.
I have my parents and my brother to keep me company and love me. I feel very grateful that along the way, there have been many helping hands to push or pull me along whenever an obstacle arises.
As long as my children studies hard in school, that's all I ask for. I hope for health and happiness. I'm content with my children graduating and getting a good job.
Her family's love and warmth is Cen's greatest motivation. She knows her blessings and continues to give of herself, and is the best daughter her parents could have asked for.
Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology is aware that some of its students could not obtain the scooter's license because they have not reached the age of 18. Thus, it is inconvenient for them to go to Tzu Chi Hospital for their clinical practicum. Therefore, the university provides a school bus service. The bus driver, Lai Mingren, has been driving school bus for 20 years and he's appreciated by many students. Let's take a look.
Lai Mingren has been greeting students for 20 years to allow the students who are under 18 years old to go to and return from the hospital for their practicum. Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology provides a school bus for them. And Lai Mingren always comes early to check on the condition of the bus.
We follow their rule to change the lubricant oil every 5,000 kilometers because we want to give the riders a safe and comfortable space.
Whenever he sees any student in a bad mood, he will talk to him. Many students have nicknamed this school bus the spiritual bus.
Those students simply like to sit at this seat. Then I will tell him that when he runs into a problem like this, he doesn't need to worry about it.
For the past 20 years, Lai Mingren has been driving 350,000 kilometers and has not caused any traffic accident. He said he will continue the work so most students can strive safely towards their nursing careers.
10 students from the Taichung Municipal Special Education School for the Visually Impaired recently participated in a road race activity. These students use time after class to go jogging, which helps them relax. To encourage these students, local ultramarathoner Kevin Lin shared his experience.
Having the courage to challenge themselves, these students at the Taichung Municipal Special Education School for Visually Impaired bravely participate in this road race.
If I don't see any improvement or don't make any progress, then I'll feel a bit frustrated.
Every time they encounter setbacks, they learn that there can be more room for progress. These guides help these children run and feel at ease, as well as ensure their safety.
Originally, my mood was very depressed about not being able to finish. After I became more calm, my whole body relaxed.
These children like to go and run outside of school, so I thought this activity would be quite good. If we take them out to go running, they can enjoy movement and some happiness.
Enjoying movement, these students were introduced to ultramarathoner Kevin Lin, who talked about challenging physical limits. He appeared on their campus to give them encouragement and put a challenge to them to participate in a road race as the only way their mind and body can grow.
Support their community is very important to them, as they don't want to be kept at home all day. Allowing more people to interact with them will stimulate their minds and body, which can help them improve.
Encouraging them not to give up and continue pursuing their goals is the main lesson these visually impaired students learned as they learned about the unlimited possibilities in their life.
Dr. T. Colin Campbell was recently invited to Taipei to discuss how a plant-based diet can reverse disease and preserve health. He's a well-known American nutritionist who also wrote a book on this topic. He was born to a traditional family which felt that milk and meat was the best source of protein. But later he learned through nutrition and biochemistry that a plant-based diet can give the same results.
My career in science is now over 60 years.
An expert in diet and nutrition, Dr. T. Colin Campbell discusses the concept of a plant-based diet.
We can't take the nutrients out of the plants and put them in pills and get the same result. I think with the emphasis on the word whole and plants, there's those two ideas.
Basically, there's no special secret to nutrition. When it involves too much or too little, it's best not to eat too much, as it hopes that we can achieve a balanced and nutritional diet.
Natural foods are the best way to achieve nutrition, as we should avoid processed supplements and products. Compared to an animal-based diet, eating plants provides more antioxidants, carbon-oxygen compounds, vitamins, along with cholesterol and proteins. As long as one eats a wide range of balanced diet of whole grains, seeds, beans, nuts, one can achieve enough protein intake.
Most of protein is used for so-called cell repair or enzymes used by the body, so we actually don't need so much.
It actually can prevent a wide variety of diseases like heart disease, cancer, diabetes, autoimmune disease, and so forth. It tends to prevent these, not all, but it does a good job of preventing most of them.
At the age of 83, this expert is still quite spirited after 2 hours of discussion, which he attributes to his plant-based diet, which he has pursued for nearly 30 years.
In Tainan, a group of Tzu Chi's media volunteers are also DaAi mothers in elementary schools. Their performance of a Buddhist play for students was so popular that they've been invited to perform elsewhere. We'll leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.